But that was a big misstep on LeBron, though.
Yeah, can you tell me what it was about?
I mean, it was just like, keep my son's name out your mouth type thing.
Son, your son is a professional athlete, LeBron. I get. What's that?
I don't think it was about his son specifically playing. It was something that he compared Carmelo and his relationship with his son to LeBron.
Oh.
And it was sort of like a weird little like sneak diss from what I understand. And
so he wasn't insulting the way he played the game. He was insulting like his role as a father.
Yeah, it seems more like that, to be honest, from what I understand. Like I was reading up on a bunch of people that were like sort of pinning it and like the time code of what he was saying.
Yeah. But he said a bunch about Bronny. So it's like, I'm pretty sure he's just tired of him constantly bringing up his son.
Well, look, here's the reality.
But
right?
he just made it 10 times worse.
So like this is one of the quotes he said. I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. In regards to Bronny's playtime in the NBA.
Right. And the idea is the only reason Bronny's there is because he is LeBron's son.
Yeah.
Which is a perfectly reasonable excuse. Now, I will say there's G League games where Bronny seems to be going off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when he plays at the elite level, he doesn't have any numbers that reflect his ability to play in the NBA.
And that's what I believe Stephen A is saying, where it's like he's not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then LeBron's coming at him like, yo, as a father, stop talking about my kid.
So this is a tricky thing. It's like, because your father's in this advantageous position, you're going to be able to bestow certain opportunities upon your kid. And he even mentioned this before. He's like, I see white people do this all the time. They get their kids jobs that they don't deserve. Mm-hmm. So he goes, so I support you doing it. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it goes without criticism. Just like it doesn't go without criticism when you see the Nepo baby shit with white people, with Jews, with anybody, right? It's like we criticize the Nepo babies. We like to see people who have earned things and deserve things.
Yeah. We just don't have like commentary for hedge funds.
We should.
We should. We should have a Stephen A for hedge funds.
should.
And every week they just go through all of them. They're like, yo, this trade, this person hired this guy. That was fucked up. They got money from this person.
That'd be fire.
We should just have a watchdog that just goes off on all the financial institutions.
It's so boring to look at all that financial shit.
Stephen A can make it awesome.
That person makes it a month before they get taken up.
Yeah, also that.
Anyway, the point is like, I guess you can't have it both ways. Like you can get your kid a job that maybe he doesn't deserve, but you can't also say nobody's allowed to criticize him. And if he doesn't deserve it, this is a merit-based business, sports, you're going to get extra criticism. Mm-hmm. So I get it as a father. Like you want to ride for your kids. 100% understand that. But it's not going to stop it. Like LeBron can say whatever he wants. The only reason I would say don't do it is because it's just going to put more gas on it.
That's what yeah.
Yeah. And this is, I feel like,
worse.
the second thing in the past week that I've heard LeBron saying about the media.
What do you say?
Like he was talking about this thing with, who was it? Anthony Edwards, I think. Where he was like, or I forget, Tatum, where he was like, why do you want to be the face of the league? So you can just get criticized all the time, get criticized every day in, day out, everything you do picked apart by the media. So it feels like at this point in his career, he's like, I should be beyond this, but I'm still getting nitpicked at every single turn.
You know what's interesting, man? Is that I don't know if this same criticism would happen 10 years ago. LeBron has one probably year left. He might do 2 or 3. He could play as long as like his body holds up and his body looks great. But let's say he's got 1 or 2 years left. When the media knows you have 1 or 2 years left, you don't have the leverage that you had when you have the next decade to dominate the sport. Mm-hmm. The media is moving on and finding new stars. They're not as reliant on you for the success of the league as they were in the past. Like it's in the media's best interest if you're a superstar for you to be a superstar, because the bigger you get, the more attention these people in the media get. I think it's probably one of the arguments for protecting, they say they protected Jordan, right? It's just like, yo, can you just not post bad shit about the Golden Goose and let us.
And that's a difference, though. I feel like they've always talked shit about Bron.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very little, but they've always done it throughout his career. You remember he wasn't clutch in the beginning.
You're right. You're right
his
about
record
that.
in the finals. Like, he never got the Jordan treatment. And maybe that's why he's disgruntled about.
Yeah, but why do you think that is?
I think just too much competition in sports media. And it's like,
oh, wow, that's interesting. It's like you need a take.
Yeah.
And there's 40 different shows, and they're all going to have a take. Yeah.
And what's the most interesting take is saying that one of the greatest of all time is actually not the greatest.
And that's what we do just with everything.
So
it's
imagine if you're him, he's like, yo, look at what I've done. Yeah. And you're still.
And that probably fuels you when you're like 28.
Yeah.
But when you're 41, you're just
and you've already done everything. You've won all the records. You're the lead scorer. Like you've done everything. And you're like, finally, this will shut them up.
Nope.
And then you're like, fuck this. Then.
Yeah, because your greatness isn't what shuts them up or not.
And then I wonder if there's even a part of him that's like, I've been subjected to this my entire life, my entire personal life picked apart. I can't live in privacy. Everything sucks.
And now I'm putting my son through this. So he's probably trying to squash it early, like, yo, chill.
And that's
you
not
could talk about me, but chill out on. Oh, that's a good ass one.
Yeah. And I wonder if he feels like a little bit of a sense of like, yo, I'm putting my son through this terrible bullshit I put myself through. And he's a great player, but also like, we're good. Like I did this because I came from nothing in Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
But my kid doesn't necessarily have to do
He really
this
doesn't have to go through it.
Yeah.
if he doesn't want to. But like now he's going to be subjected to it even more scrutinized.
Yeah.
I was compared to Jordan, and now my kid is going to be compared to me. And like,
And he probably feels personally responsible because he knows his son doesn't belong in that spot. And it's because he leveraged his son to get in that spot. So now you're responsible for all that hate he's getting.
I wonder if he's grappling with that thing where it's like, is this Bronny's dream? Is he doing this to impress me? Have I kind of like pushed this ambition onto him? Like, that's a tricky one.
and through no fault of his own, like just by becoming this virtuoso at this thing, your kids are going to want to emulate.
You see how much people admire your father. You want to do that thing that they admire your father for naturally.
I want to be a comic just because my dad told funny stories.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so imagine your dad's the greatest ever. You're like, yeah, you want to take a part in that lineage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. It's tricky.
And I wonder
I
if,
feel for LeBron.
I wonder if he justifies it like,
I feel for both Braun and Bronny.
oh, for sure. But I wonder if LeBron justifies trying to squash the criticism by saying, you don't talk about any other G League player like this.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, yo, just treat him like every other G League player and don't cover him, which you do. So he goes, he might think in his brain, he might be, you're just doing this to either get at me or because you know it's clicks, but it's not genuine or authentic because you don't talk about G League players at all. But he's got to reconcile the fact that
They're not treating Bronny as a G League player.
but he don't see it like that. I bet you in his mind, I bet you LeBron is like, no, Bronny should be in the NBA and he should be in the G League. Like, he's better than these other guys. I see him hoop with them. Like, he actually has guys on his team that I'm sure he's like, Bronny's better than him. I don't even know why the fuck we got this bum on the team. And also there's that bias of being a dad. Like, everything you see in your kid is going to be the best. So I wonder if he genuinely believes that the criticism is unfounded and he's reacting in kind.
And it probably is because the fact that he's balling in the G League, like, it's probably a mental thing when he gets in.
Also, like, when we saw him at the Garden, like, he gets put in with 30 seconds left, and obviously they're going to try to get him some buckets. But keep in mind,
They call it garbage time for a reason.
facts. But think about it. If you're playing D on the last 30 seconds of a blowout, you're also the bum on the other team, and you're like, I ain't letting this kid score on me.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he's not going against garbage time defense.
Yeah.
He's going up against some young whippersnapper who's like, Bronny is not scoring on me.
Yeah.
This guy everybody calls a bum is going to score on me. Then I'm going to lose my 10-day contract. Fuck that. I'm putting the clamps on this kid. So he's probably going against weaker defense in the G League just in terms of effort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're treating him just like another player, probably. There's probably a little ego.
I'm sure
But
there's
compared
ego.
to the league, it's like, yeah,
But fuck.
different level.
Yeah, it's tricky, man. As a dad, I get it. But
That was like Zelensky. He should have did that in private. That's the misstep.
yeah.
You know you got Stephen A's number. You could have just had that same combo in private.
Also, Stephen A told us, like, when somebody tells me in confidence something, I maintain that confidence.
Yeah.
He's like, that's how you build trust with the players. Remember he was on the pod saying that? He's like, there's a bunch of things that people told me in confidence. I don't let that go out there in the world. If something happens publicly, I will address that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was like an emotional,
Yeah.
a little misstep right there on Bron's part. A little misstep right
Absolutely.
there on Bron's
I
part.
wonder if he has told him in private.
Ooh.
I wonder if he's like, hey, just chill with all that.
Yeah.
And then didn't chill.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. What you saying, Duff?